Have you ever felt the past breathing just behind your shoulder? Picture yourself standing in the White House rose garden, the air heavy with the sweet scent of roses. When you catch sight of a woman in a pale pink suit, smiling softly before vanishing into morning light. What if Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis never truly left the place she once poured her heart into? Tonight, we revisit one of Washington's most whispered legends, the story of Jackie Kennedy's spirit returning to the rose garden she designed with such care. Born July 28, 1929, Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy was First Lady from 1961 to 1963, a figure of grace and quiet power who transformed the White House into a symbol of art and history. Her most enduring legacy? The Rose Garden, restored under her direction in 1962, meant to be a place of peace and beauty for the nation. She died in 1994, far from the White House. But according to staff, visitors, and even a few startled Secret Service agents, Jackie may have returned, if only for a moment. It begins with the garden itself. Walk there in early morning, before the press conferences, before the cameras, and you'll feel it. The grass still wet with dew, the smell of blooming roses, soft and warm in the sun. A hush settles over the White House grounds, as if the world is waiting for something. This is where Jackie spent so many hours, walking carefully in her pearls, sketching plans, choosing colors. She believed the garden could be a gift to the soul, and some say her soul never stopped visiting. The first reports came quietly, years after her death. A groundskeeper claimed he saw a well-dressed lady standing at the far end of the rose garden just before dawn. She was gazing at the flowers, hands clasped in front of her, her dark hair styled in that iconic bouffant. When he stepped closer, she turned and then faded away like mist. Others began to whisper similar stories. A tourist on an early tour swore she saw Jackie standing near the magnolia tree, her face calm, her eyes almost glowing in the morning light. A staff member admitted hearing footsteps on the gravel path when no one was there, followed by the faint smell of Jackie's favorite perfume, Joy by Jean Patou. Imagine being there yourself. The White House quiet, the sun just rising, casting gold across the grass. Suddenly you feel it. The air shifts, cooler somehow. The garden seems sharper, more alive. You look up. There she is, Jackie Kennedy, wearing a pale suit, perhaps white gloves, head tilted gently as if she's listening to the wind. Her presence is not frightening. It's warm, even reassuring. Then she steps back, turns toward the colonnade, and is gone. Why would Jackie's spirit return here, of all places? Those who knew her say the Rose Garden was one of her proudest achievements. She wanted a space where history could breathe, where leaders could speak not from behind walls, but beneath open sky. And perhaps, after everything, the assassination of President Kennedy, her years of silence, her final illness, this was the one place she felt at peace. The garden was where she left her mark, where her memory could bloom every spring. It was, in some way, her gift to the country. Even today, when you stand in the garden, you can feel her there. The sound of leaves rustling gently, like a silk dress brushing past. The faint click of shoes on stone, though no one walks the path. Some say they smell roses even in winter, as if the garden remembers her too. White House staff rarely speak of it publicly, but off the record, several admit they avoid the garden after dark, not because they are afraid, but because it feels like trespassing on sacred ground. There's something almost comforting about the idea of Jackie returning to this place. Ghost stories are often dark, filled with sorrow or rage, but this one feels different. If it's true, Jackie's presence is gentle, like a caretaker checking on her work. It's as if the garden itself called her back, a living memory, forever tied to the woman who brought it to life. It makes you wonder, do the places we love hold on to us? Do our footprints stay long after we are gone, waiting for the day we return? Picture this moment. The president, years after Jackie's passing, steps into the Rose Garden to give a speech. The cameras are ready. The nation is watching. And for just a second, he feels a presence beside him, Maybe it's just the wind. Maybe it's nothing at all. But maybe, somewhere just out of sight, Jackie Kennedy is standing there, smiling softly, proud of what her garden has become. The legend of Jackie Kennedy's ghost is not a frightening tale. It's a reminder that love leaves a trace, that beauty can become eternal. Every petal that falls in a rose garden, every press conference held there, carries her legacy forward. And perhaps that is why her spirit lingers. Not to haunt, but to bless. Not to frighten, but to watch over the roses she once planted and the nation she once served. If this story made you see the White House Rose Garden in a new light, click that like button. Share this with someone who loves history or the legacy of Jackie Kennedy. And tell me in the comments, do you think spirits return to the places they love most? Subscribe for more haunting yet hopeful stories from America's past. Until next time, keep looking. The past might just be looking back.